This is the Simpit Live. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's stream of the Sim Racing Systems North American Mazda MX5 Cup Series. Tonight we are here for the final race of the season, and it's been real fun. This is sort of an exploratory or a trial season for me to kind of get my feet more into Assetto Corsa than I'd been in the past, and also to see how Sim Racing System worked and if it worked well for the Simpit. And as it turns out, it worked great for the Simpit. We had a great season. Took very little effort on my part, which is great because I put a lot of energy behind the scenes into everything we do. So having something that just sort of automated and ran is fantastic. So we are going to run tonight's race just like last night's race. And then following the race, we'll talk a little bit about next season, which will begin a week from yesterday. With our next season in the North, well, it won't be the North American Mazda MX5 series. That's what we're going to talk about after the race today. So, practice is wrapping up. We are going to move right into qualifying. I think we have finally gotten the bugs out of our system on our Assetto Corsa streams. Each game, each sim, each scenario that I do a live stream is actually a different scenario. And it means everything is different. The way I bring in the videos or the game footage might be different. The way I orchestrate and work with the webcams and all the audio inputs. So if you haven't done any of this kind of stuff yourself, there is a little trial and error. I think we have the bugs all sorted out. When we change cars, it might be a louder car. It'd be hard to be a quieter car. If it is a louder car, then we're going to have to make some audio adjustments accordingly. So we are just wrapping things up, and we will do our qualifying lap. I'll probably do two laps like yesterday, and then come in and chit-chat with you guys for the remainder of the time left, which will only be a few minutes. It's a 10-minute qualifying followed by a 20-minute race. So not a long race, which again, obviously, if you're watching the stream, thank you. Welcome to the show. If you're watching the stream, obviously you're not running the race with us. Well, actually, you very well could be. But I hope you will stick around for our announcement of next season's schedule, which starts next week. So that'll be an opportunity for you to race with the Simpit and race with the guys who've been in this series, which has really been some great racing. We've had a good variety of driver talent, so depending on where you are on the ladder system of driving talent, you'll fit in really well here. Chances are. So I'm eager to do some driving. I will be doing a stick shift, manual shift H pattern today, using the clutch on up shifts, blipping on down shifts. I'm going to try to work on the timing, see if I can not beat up the gearbox quite as badly as yesterday. Hi, Krabby. Hi, everybody. Hello, Steam King. I see you're here. Greg, you're perhaps back, and we have a handful of people watching. And these live streams, you know, I like doing them for the racing action. And it's a good way for you to see the intensity at times, see what I go through, you know, and kind of deal with the same scenario, so you can kind of feel better about yourself, perhaps. I get a little angry at myself at times. I forget to breathe. I'm a good driver, but I do make mistakes from time to time. As usual, we will have an opportunity to adjust our audio after qualifying. So what I will do is check in with you guys. We can work on the audio mix. One thing I'm also working on throughout the season is how much I talk during the race, and am I going to let it affect... Oh, there I go with my paddle shifters. Am I going to let distraction like that affect me in my driving, like revving out second gear? But coming out of pit lane, I'm not too worried about it. We're on the pit limiter is what it is. Yesterday we had a good race. We, to an extent, were... Whoa. I gotta get my, you know what together here. We had a good race. We were racing up to speed a little bit during the race. I was told to shift quicker, or earlier, so we'll try to do that a little bit today as well. Ooh, look at that sun today. That's going to be a tricky corner. Oh, and it's on that corner, too. That's even worse. That's going to be really bad for competition. That's racing. You never know. We did have a bigger crowd, so I believe tonight's turnout was one of our bigger turnouts for the season. And next season I will be doing a live stream of all the races as well. Again, we'll talk about that more at the end of the show. We learned 5th gear was faster than 6th. Let me turn up my volume just a touch. Shouldn't affect you any. It's just what I'm hearing in the headphones. I find the louder I make it, the more I scream at you guys. Oh, that's going to be really interesting. So we can see the sun's not in the most ideal spot today. Yesterday it was actually in a better position than today. We were maxed out at 122 on the straightaways in 6th gear. So revving the heck out of the poor little engine. But carrying 2 miles an hour more. I could have gone a little faster on exit of that corner. This is our first time lap. This is the other corner I was really debating. I feel like I'm a little bogged down coming out in 3rd. That felt decent. But when I went to 2nd, I ran out of gear so fast. Same thing on this corner, 2nd or 3rd gear. I'm sticking with 3rd. Keeps me from doing anything too crazy. Keeps me driving conservative. That is going to be really tough today. I'm going to try to do a little bit better with my footwork. I think that's what was tearing up the gearbox yesterday. Just a little mistiming with the clutch and shifting and the blipping. Alright, coming into the bus stop. Not bad. Not a bad run through the bus stop. Yesterday, right here, I was in a door-to-door battle for position at the end of the race. I wonder how that would have played out with those sun conditions. .216.7, that's really slow. So we'll complete this lap and then we'll just stay with that time. I'm okay with that. Tore up the gearbox on that one. 3 minutes left in qual. We'll finish this. We'll double check our audio. Little talk before the race. This is like the polar opposite. I was playing some F1 2017 all day long, really. And that is the opposite of this. All right, 2:15.2. That's an improvement. And we'll go ahead and just pull it on in. Right now we're 6th on the board, it looks like. So we'll head back to the pits. Let me get my keyboard over here so I can come in and say hello to you guys real quick. 2 minutes left in qualifying, and then we'll get down to racing, of course. And you would like to know the setting of my car. What do you mean? Like, I didn't do anything. All I did was took a little bit of fuel out of it, actually, to be honest with you. And yes, iRacing announced the GT3 version of the 488. They also made a comment about both the IMSA and the Blancpain, the GT3 series, having 6 cars in the series each, which is pretty amazing. Pete Hill, I really do hope you join us. We're going to talk about Season 2 at the end of the race here, which is only 20 minutes away. It's a short race. All of the tracks we ran this season were available at Race Department, so all you needed to do was be a member of Race Department, and you could download the tracks and add them to your Assetto Corsa. The cars from the Japanese car pack, downloadable content from Assetto Corsa, which you can get on Steam with the game. Fuel, let's see if things changed from yesterday. Yeah, I have 30 liters, says I'm going to do 15 laps. That's too much. Yesterday I almost ran out, by the way. I don't remember what I ran yesterday. So, it says we'll do 12 laps. That should be enough fuel. You kind of got we burn a lot of gas here at Daytona. So, it is a little bit of adjustment. And let's see, audio's good, thank you very much. Yeah, 6 cars, Blancpain and IMSA. You can adjust the final drive. Nice to meet you, Devin, as well. Let's go and see what we can do there real quick. I'm all ears. I'm open. I have to confess I haven't done a ton of Assetto Corsa to the point of really diving into the setup like I have in, say, iRacing. Here we are. Gears. You mean final drive? You mean the one called Gears? I do not see any adjustments that could be made. We are in a pretty limited car. In real life, I think all you can do is change your tire pressure and shock settings. Feel that whole nasal thing coming on. Sorry about that, you guys, but it's just that time of year here in Southern California. Excuse me. So just a few more moments. We are out of time in qualifying. And yeah, Season 2 will also be on Assetto Corsa. And I do not think it's cross-platform compatible, so I don't think you can race from Xbox with us here. Pretty sure about that. So yeah, I will announce the car that we're going to run next season and the tracks that we will run next season. Next season starts next Thursday, and the way it works for us on Sim Racing System is we run Thursday and Friday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, West Coast USA, and then you can run Thursday or Friday night, or both. If you run both, it'll pick your best race. If you run, obviously, just one, it'll pick that race for the championship points for the season. We'll run 6-week season, so it's not a huge commitment. And again, Thursday or Friday night, which also means it's a little bit more casual than a normal league, but a lot better than, or a little different than running in like the open servers on iRacing, because here, most of these guys have been here week after week, so you start to get familiar with your competition. So that is good as well. Am I going to be doing league stuff on P-Cars too? That's a good question. It will depend on reception of the game and how it's perceived and how easy it is to do something like this. I mean, one thing for me is I love doing the show and I love doing racing and I love racing with the community just like we're doing here, but it does divide up my time the more I do. So if it gets really complicated, so one of the reasons I do so much iRacing on the show is I love iRacing, but the other is because it's very easy for me to jump in a race. I don't have to do anything else. sim racing system is sort of done that as well. Not a ton I can do about that. You wouldn't believe how many back and forth internet streams I have to be able to do this, and perhaps I might even have to dump one of the cameras in the end if it becomes a distraction. I'm all open ears when it comes to your guys' input on the show and how we're doing and what we're doing, and you know, I will always do what I can to make it more enjoyable or better for you guys. So we're going to hop in the race, which means I can't hear you guys anymore. It should be a pretty quick race. Hopefully we took enough gas. I think I was pretty conservative there. Yesterday I kind of wasn't sure, and I'm glad I didn't do it, but if I just put it in gear and pushed in the clutch and the gas, I was going to roll forward and get a black flag, which has happened to me before. I had to triple check my clutch calibration, and crossing my fingers, all goes well. Looking good. Alright, here we go. Good start. Watch out for trouble. That's where I got caught yesterday. That was not a good oh! That was not a good time for a lazy shift, by the way. Did not see him on my side. I thought I was clear. Son of a... We're gonna have to get it together here. Picked up a couple of spots on the start. Those guys were probably not happy. Alright. Now let's get down to business, yeah? Good opening lap for the team, the crew. That's great. I didn't see any big incidents. I got two cars coming up behind me. I lost quite a bit of time to the guy up ahead. Looks like we're running 8th of 22. Our second split should add a much better amount of drivers today. That's great. Well, we made up time because these guys were bunched up. I didn't do a great run through the bus stop. The guys behind me gained a little ground, so we're going to be really bunched up here. Should be a good race. I love Daytona. It is some great racing. Ooh, I see those guys rubbing paint. What happened to the white car there? Someone's disgruntled. I'm braking a little later than the yellow car. It's kind of distracting me. Taking me off my line a little bit. 16 minutes left. My distance awareness is still not 100% with Assetto Corsa. That's something that also comes with time driving a sim. All right, this is going to be interesting. Who's going to blink first? That really messed us both up bad. Nobody gave way. We both lost time to everything and everyone on the track. And now we're going to do it again, going into one. That's what I love about running in these Mazdas. Again, there's that little bit of warping going on. And then you add that up with my not knowing exactly how hard I can bump someone. Now he's going to get a run underneath. All right, we got it done that time. I didn't blip the throttle. Did you hear the gearbox there? Still trying to tie into that muscle memory. Getting used to the whole H pattern. Doing pretty well with it overall. Never made apex there. Try to give him his little draft to work with. I noticed he likes to go a little wide right in the beginning. Big gap up to, that looks like 5th place. We're running 6th right now. 13:46 left in the game. Race. That was our best run yet through the bus stop. Probably be our best lap of the race so far. I ran a wide line on one getting around him, but it didn't take too much time. Slow it down just a little more or turn in earlier. A little of both. No, I didn't need to do it now on that corner. I needed to do it back there on turn 1. Looks like we picked up maybe a touch of time on 5th ahead. Oh, the sun is just brutal. You got to give them credit, though. It's pretty realistic. That is some serious glare. $11:40 left. Ran a 2:14.4 last time by. Now that we're at full speed, that gap looks a lot bigger. Oh! too fast through there. Just trying to get back on the gas early. Missed it by just a if I had just held off a moment longer, we would have been all good. Coming up on the halfway point of the race, 10:45 left on the clock. That's what I'm talking about, right there. Do that all day long. Missed shift, missed the apex. It's alright. Got a lot of room to work with at Daytona. Oh. Someone's come to rob my house. Their timing is impeccable, being that I'm in headphones and heavily sucked into a race. .2:14.3 last time by. Just trying to get a little warm. Trying to breathe. Trying to find that middle point of talking to you guys and concentrating well. Better than the last time by, not perfect. .2:14.1 last time by, 8 minutes left. Missed that shift, by the way. In terms of grindage on the gearbox, when I say missed shift, I got my gear, but you probably heard that. I think we've done way better than yesterday on the gearbox, though. Ah! Missed my throttle on point. Critical turn, too. Maybe the most important corner on the track. Not when you want to do that. It wasn't a tragic error, but it was a 10th, and it was momentum down this whole straight. Banked straight. Like in a NASCAR, that's still a corner. For us, it feels like a straightaway. Gearbox click. Still running 6th. That's 5th up there. We are gaining ever so slightly, but not at a rate of speed that means I'm going to catch him within 6 minutes. And I can see 4th, 3rd, 2nd. I can see the leader at the line right there, right now. Looks like there's a race going on for the win. 6 minutes left. even better in one there. I notice I'm missing a few more shifts right now as I'm starting to get a little more aggressive. Means I probably need to slow down to speed up, if you know what I mean. We're gaining. 5 minutes left. 2:14.303. So we're found our consistency point. Seems to be about a 2:14.1 through 2:14.3. Definitely feel like if I put it all together, we'd be well into the 13s. Another missed shift. Did that just come a blink? The missed shift plague seems to come on right as I said I'm not making as many missed shifts tonight. Sort of ironic. Murphy's Law of Racing. .41 left. Inside of 3 minutes now. Ran a 2:14.147 last time by. Still running 6th place. The gap between me and 5th has stayed fairly consistent with me just getting a slight edge. 7th is hanging on right behind me. Ah, bad shift, bad entry. Good recovery. We'll be inside of 2 minutes by the time we get to line. Actually, we're going to be there right now. So this is likely to be the last lap. No, they might be far enough ahead. That'll be interesting. I was late on my braking point by just a fraction there. Early turn in. Overall, having a much better race than yesterday, and yesterday wasn't a bad race. That'll be pretty easy on throttle application right there, by the way. Car does get loose. .42, 38 seconds. We could use a handful more laps. Ran a 2:14.0 last time by. Still running 6th. I do believe this is going to be the final lap. Leaders on final lap, so this is it. Had a better run in the bus stop. I found that on throttle point off of the first part of it that balances the car. Looks like someone ran out of fuel. Points. We are running on low tank, but not even vapor. So, race is over. There you go. Good race. Good race. All right. I'm pretty happy with that. 5th place. Picked up a spot there with not running out of gas. And I'm a little hot and sweaty, of course. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and check in with you guys as things wrap up here in the room, and we're going to start talking about next season and then bring today's show to a close. Yeah, that sunlight, I need a visor for sure. It was crazy. We've had interesting time slots for the season, all season, and I do a bunch of practice and then come to the track and find protected corners, protected by the glare. And so I figured, well, next season I'm going to make sure I check all my timing and make sure I'm doing my practice so that I can do it under the same conditions, and if there is a tough corner, I'll at least know about it. So let me just say hello and goodbye to the guys here in the race as things come to an end. And some people talking to each other, some ruffled feathers. So somebody talking about somebody tracking him out. I went in with my typical jargon of just being nice and thanking everybody for coming out. From what I saw, it was an incredible race, one of the best races all season long. For the record, we did 9 laps, so when doing estimation for fuel in the future, if I was smart, I'd have my race book right next to me, and I would be able to write those notes down for future knowledge. And that's something I think I talked about early on in the show. Not today, but just the whole concept of keeping notes. You know, you talk about real race engineers and what do? They finish a race and they actually go right to the garage and start looking at tire temps, fuel consumption, talking to the driver, getting feedback. Was the car loose? Was it tight? Where was it loose? Where was it tight? Adding those notes to the track so that when they come back to the same racing scenario again, they already know what setup they used last time and they know what was good and bad about it. So if you want to be a pro racer, that's the kind of stuff you do. I didn't do that here. So I'm going to look at, these are going to be the unofficial standings for the season, and I say unofficial because I don't know exactly when it updates. Let's see here. Yeah, so it hasn't posted the results. Oh, there they are, though. So we'll have to see what the final results look like in the series. So go ahead and look at the standings real quick. Actually, you guys probably... Yep, I'm sorry. I'm doing all this talking away, and you guys can't see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry about that. I'm glad I double-checked. Anyway, I'll read you. Looks like Mario Segadilia has won the season. So congratulations to him. He has a pretty significant lead, over 100-point lead over Hernan Filippini. And Lewis Mercury came in 3rd place, it looks like, in the overall standings. George Vidal came in 4th. Dennis Brembor came in 5th. Myself, Shaun Cole, came in 6th. Doug Hawley in 7th. Antonio Cabanas in 8th. Michael Adamczyk in 9th. And Jay Gabriel in 10th. And it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nations represented in our top 10, and that is something very cool to see. Something great about sim racing, to be honest with you. It is an international sport. You go play soccer, you're going to race or play soccer against guys in your neighborhood. You go bike racing, you're going to race against guys in the local area. Sim racing, I'm racing against guys from all over the world. I love it. So, real quick, I want to talk about next season. And let's go ahead and... El Bucho, can I make a video on how to install the needed DLC for SRS? Yes, I think that was actually covered in my show if you look at my announcement of the Mazda series. But what I'll make sure to do is do one more version of that prior to this next season coming that I'm about to talk about. So, what are we going to run? That's the big question. What are we going to run? I asked for some input from people, and I didn't get a lot of feedback. And one of the feedback that I did get was the A-Barth, which I love doing, and it's some of the most fun racing, like the Mazda, but I wanted to do something a little more adventurous. So, here she is. Hopefully I don't blow your ears off like last time I played a video. Oh, look at that. So, this is the Porsche Carrera 3-liter RSR. When I was growing up, this was the epitome of dream car to me when it came to a race car that emulated the streetlight version of what you could buy. And I am very excited to run these cars. They're fun. Oh, don't tell me a Porsche bug. We're going to work beyond bugs, unless it's just tragic. Oh, it's an old bug. Yes. Thank you. You scared the life out of me there, Steam King. I was literally I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I can't deal with this. Anyway, I'm super excited that we're running this car. It's one that I'm very fond of. I think it will make for some great racing. And we're going to start this next week on Sim Racing System. Thursday and Friday night, 6 o'clock Pacific time. Same time we ran this race. If you are just joining the stream, the way Sim Racing Systems works, we're going to run Thursday or Friday. You can pick your best race, or it'll automatically pick your best race for the season points. And in this case, take your favorite. If you run just Thursday or just Friday, obviously that's the race that'll be scored. 6 weeks, 6 tracks. These are not in order, but we're going to run Silverstone, Spa, Road America, Nürburgring, the GP, not the full Nordschleife, you know, Imola, and Barcelona. So I'm actually really excited about this track list. Since there wasn't a lot of input, which that's fine, it's on me to do this, I went ahead and just picked cars, the car that I wanted to drive, and tracks that I thought would be really fun. A lot faster than what we ran here this season. There should be a little bit more setup involved to get the most out of the car than you can with the Mazda. I probably won't do a whole tremendous amount of work. I'll probably run something close to default and just try to have fun and be competitive for the season. I will be streaming all of the races. Spatial Dragon, I know the Porsche is in the Porsche pack. And I believe all those tracks are actually free, if I'm not mistaken, one way or another. So, anyway, here's the flyer, and if you didn't see it on Sim Racing Systems, they posted it. I'll put it up on our Facebook page, and I'm going to probably put a little video out, too, just kind of teasing the series, trying to build up a little more enthusiasm. I think just to make things fun, I'm probably going to give away a Simpit t-shirt. I will probably take all of the drivers who participate in each race week and then randomly pick somebody to give a t-shirt to, and I'll send it to them on me. So a little prize just for coming out and joining us. I will stream the races, and then the other cool thing is we'll stream the races, and maybe you can come in the live chat after if you've raced and join in and talk about your race and talk about how it went for you as well. So, And excellent. Shane picked up everything. And I think there's a big sale right now, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I caught word of that. So I am going to bring things to a close on race nights. I end up getting pretty hot and needing to get out of my sim rig and cool down and get a drink of water and all that good stuff. So I do like to answer all the questions that come in while we're still going, and it seems like we've taken care of that. So I feel pretty good about walking away. Again, I hope you enjoyed tonight's race. I hope that you will join us for next season, because it's been a lot of fun, and I expect the same for next season, and it'll be a lot more fun if we get even more people involved. So that'll be great. And Willie still working on things. And El Bucho, I actually have a fan. It's just, you know, it's still summer here in Southern California. Beautiful weather, but it does run a little warm. And I live by the beach, which means it's also a little humid at times, for Southern California standards, at least. And AC unstale. I'd blow a fuse. You wouldn't believe how many things I have running right now, Paul. So I'm a little afraid to bring anything high horsepower into the mix. No, we just have a couple more weeks here, and it's only during the racing videos that it's really a problem. And maybe that's an intensity that I don't mind you guys seeing. To be honest with you, I could be in an air-conditioned room, and I'll still break a sweat. That's what racing does to me. It's intense. I hold my breath, as some people have commented during the racing, and that's just the way it goes. So maybe you do the same thing. Maybe you find it amusing. Maybe you find it disgusting. But we're doing our thing. So luckily we don't have a whole lot of people other than sim racers watching the channel, so I'm not too embarrassed of it. So we'll leave it at that. Sorry you're not a big fan of the Porsche Steam King. That's Again, that's why I asked for input. So next season, when I'm asking for input, everybody throw in their word, and you'll have a say in what we pick. I didn't necessarily want to pick the cars and tracks. So, and I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I had to randomly pick something. I went with what I like, and you can't make everybody happy. But regardless of car, it's going to be fun. I mean, if I had picked the KTM Crossbow, I'd be sitting here saying, why'd you pick that? I don't really like that car. But I could tell you it would still be a fun series if we get the right guys out here racing with us. So that'll be the most important thing of all. People saying it's $6 now for the car pack. So yeah, we're not talking a lot of money. I mean, the game, you probably own it already, and if you don't and you're a sim racer, I'd have to ask, why don't you own a Assetto Corsa? There's no reason you shouldn't own and have this in your library and get to sample what they offer. So you probably already have it, so it's probably just the DLC, and we've kept it to a minimum by only having it be the car. I believe everything else, again, I believe everything else is DLC. I'm thinking about Nürburgring and wondering if that isn't the default track. I think that's default, though, not DLC. So anyway, I see you guys talking about the pricing and things, and I appreciate the feedback. That's great. I love doing the live streams for exactly that reason. And at the same time, I think we've run out of most of our questions, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this show to a close. Thank you very much for watching. This is, obviously, when I do the racing videos, I know what I'm doing. That didn't sound right. But I also want to use the live stream for big topics, things that we need to discuss about sim racing, things that we think need massive analyzation or improvement from our industry, and we all have an opinion on things like VR, and that's just a perfect example right there. So if there's anything you think that would be a great topic just to sit down and talk, I'll get any pictures, images, or video to go along with the conversation, but I will just sit down. I'll let you know in advance, hey, tomorrow night we're going to talk about ABC, and we can all just kind of talk openly and get everybody's opinions, mine, yours, and pose questions that maybe we even need to direct to the people involved in the industry who are making these fine products. So that's my last pitch tonight for sending an email to me at Shaun, S-H-A-U-N, @thesimpit.com, and I will be sure to add any cool topics to the show. I'd love to do just some open topics, so please help me out there. And beyond that, thanks again for joining the stream. Subscribe if you like what we're doing so we can continue to grow the channel. And beyond that, this is The Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.